Dusty MacBooks, Dorito crumbs on your expensive mechanical keyboard, and cat fur stuck in your gaming PC fan filters. Sometimes it can be a real pain keeping everything clean, and even when you do clean your technology gear, it's easy to damage it if you don't know what you're doing. A can of compressed air usually does the trick, but it can damage components if used incorrectly, and over the years, buying all those cans over and over again can really start to add up. Not to mention, it's also bad for the environment. I spent some time online recently looking for an alternative, and I came across the DataVac, which is an electric duster that runs on electricity and costs about $80 US. And boy, this thing blows harder than well, probably can't say that without getting demonetized. Now, it's important to note I purchased this DataVac with my own money, so this video is my own personal opinion. As most of you know, I have a cat and her fur gets everywhere. There's also quite a lot of dust in my area, so cleaning things like keyboards and computers, and even my desk and monitor is a fairly regular task for me. The DataVac is also ESD safe. ESD stands for electrostatic discharge, and it can fry sensitive components. It's why when building a PC, you should always ground yourself, or if you don't know how to do this, wear an anti-static wrist strap. The DataVac actually includes one of these in the box, and also please never use a vacuum to clean your computer for obvious reasons. So without further ado, let's jump into the studio and see if this thing lives up to the hype. Okay guys, so we are in the studio now and we're actually going to test out this duster. First of all, I just want to give you a look at the build quality of this thing. So it's actually really solid, it's quite hefty. There is a white version of this, but I went with the black one just to match all of my other gear here. But this is a very, very solid piece of gear. You can see the little filter in the bottom there, so you don't actually suck in any kind of dust or anything like that. The handle is really, really solid as well. And the actual cable that you plug into the electricity is super long as well. I'm probably going to say about 2.5 meters long. So you're definitely going to have plenty of room to use this thing outside if you so wish. Now, as this computer is only a few weeks old and I haven't actually finished building it yet, I'm waiting for some parts to arrive. I have just been having it here without an exhaust fan and also just the side panel open. So it has gotten a little bit dusty, but it's not so bad. So I'm actually going to do this inside, but generally I would actually take the PC outside to do the dusting if it is super dusty. As you can see on the front, the cat has definitely made her mark. There's a lot of cat fur on the front fan intakes. So we're going to be blasting all of this stuff off today, and then I'm probably just going to vacuum straight away as well. I'm also going to be cleaning my Razer mechanical keyboard. Now this is basically a brand new keyboard. I only bought it in about December, but as you might be able to see here, there's a lot of cat fur and crumbs and all that kind of stuff already. So after we clean the PC, we're going to test this bad boy out on the mechanical keyboard and get it all nice, clean, and shiny again. So just to give you guys more of a better idea of just how powerful this blower is, this is my B-roll room, so where I shoot all the B-roll for my videos. It's a bit deceiving on the camera, but it's actually really, really small. It's only 3 meters by 3 meters. So right now I'm about 3 meters away from those curtain kind of things right there. And I have the arm attachment applied to the blower. Now if I stand 3 meters away and I turn this on, you can see just how powerful this thing is. So again, I'll see if I can stand back so you can get a bit of an idea. This is 3 meters away, and you can literally see at the point in which the air is imprinting onto this fabric. So that is a pretty impressive display of power. Now guys, in terms of safety, if you're worried about electrostatic discharge or ESD, the best way to ground yourself if you have a metal computer case is simply just to do this. Just touch the metal case, you are now grounded, and all of the electrostatic discharge in your body is now gone and you're good to go. Now, obviously, make sure you're not building your computer on carpet. If you are standing on carpet, ground yourself every few minutes just to play it safe. This particular thing does come with an electrostatic bracelet or an anti-static bracelet. In 10 years of PC building, I've literally never used one of these. I've touched hundreds of components, never fried any of them due to ESD, so you don't really need this. However, if you don't have a metal computer case, which is rare, or you have a lot of carpet, especially thick carpet in your house, it might be worthwhile to actually wear one of these, but make sure you make that choice for yourself. Now, if you do want to be extra careful when either cleaning or setting up a PC, you want to actually install the power supply. Then you can actually plug the power supply into a power port, leave everything switched off, and that will act as an extra ground, even more so than the actual case does. But apart from that, let's set this bad boy up and let's blast some of this dust. Okay, so this is now plugged in, so I'm going to turn it on. It is super, super loud, so forgive the audio. Let's just see how this performs. Okay, so hopefully, as you've seen there, that was pretty effective. There's already essentially no dust left. It's looking a lot better. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to clean the fans and the AIO up the top here. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hold the fans, because you don't want this blowing directly on the fans and them spinning in the opposite direction, because that can actually fry them. They were spinning a little bit before, so I actually stopped when I realized that. So let's clean the fans safely and get all the dust off. Okay guys, so I'm not sure if you can see using this camera, but literally all of the dust and all of the fur is gone. There's almost nothing left. There are a few smudges here and there. That's probably just water or something, or some kind of stain. So I can just go at that with a little cloth and just rub it off. But that is very, very, very impressive. So I'm happy with that result. So all in all, I'm actually really impressed and surprised by this little device. To be honest, I really didn't expect much from this. I did see some reviews saying that the actual airflow coming out wasn't as good as compressed air, but this thing is probably at least 5 times more powerful and much better than compressed air. So I'm most definitely going to be keeping this and using this on all of my devices going forward. And is it worth the $80 US? To be honest, I actually think it is, because this thing is probably going to last for at least 10 years. And that's probably going to be at least 10 or 15 cans of compressed air most people would go to. And that's easily probably going to be around $80 anyway. So much better for the environment, much more powerful, much safer. I think it's an all-around Created Labs stamp of approval. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video. It was more of a run and gun type video, which hopefully you guys will appreciate. If you have any comments or questions about the DataVac duster, make sure you leave them in the comment section below. But apart from that, I will catch you in the next one.